Thank you for watching the TDC Hot Rods YouTube channel.
Welcome back, guys. So today we're back on the 79 Ford. It's the day after Christmas and I'm not going to work all day. I'm actually going to go out with my family, but I'm going to get a couple hours done on this truck, so figured I'd make a little video about it. So I was able to take it over and use the steam cleaner, get everything cleaned up the best that I could without tearing it all down or without spending too much time on it. So now I'm gonna pull the hood, the doors, and the windows out of it so then I can paint the interior, the jamb, just get everything all painted up. But what I'm gonna start at now is on the hood. So you see all this surface rust starting, so I gotta get rid of that. And then I'm going to get primer put on it, and yeah, so let me start over. So I'm gonna pull the hood off, get the outside of it all sanded down, 100% ready for primer, and then hopefully get primer on it before we call it quits for the day. And then after the primer's all dry, then I'm gonna flip it over, sand the bottom side, paint the bottom of the hood, and then flip it back over, sand the primer, paint the top side of the hood. Well, I don't really know exactly how I'm gonna go about it, but most likely today all I'll do is just get the hood off and hopefully get some primer on it before I end up leaving for today. So I'm gonna get to it and get this hood off and get the truck out of the way. So as you can see, I got the hood off. So now I'll just kind of explain in a little bit more detail what I'm gonna do here. So you can see how the hood's already been sanded, but I can tell by looking at the size of the swirls in here that this was most likely sanded with 80 grit, which would be fine to put the 2K primer over. I would like it to be a little bit thinner, so I'm either gonna take 120 or 180 to it, whichever I decide to. And then, like I've mentioned a few times, we gotta sand this really good to get down in here. See where all these grind marks are that somebody's put in there once before. Those, we gotta get all the rust out of all those little tiny grooves. And then a bunch of this a lot of this will just sand right off. It won't take but just a couple of minutes to sand the majority of it off. The rest of it we'll have to work with it. And when that is all sanded down nice and smooth, then we'll cover that thing up and get some primer put on here. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. Go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so I got this thing all prepped and ready for some primer. So what I ended up doing was sanding everywhere that it had a little bit of surface rust starting as good as I possibly could, and it turned out awesome. No little pits of rust. Anywhere that there had been grinding done before, I took the grinder to it again and made sure that all the little spots were gone and cleaned up. And then I went back over this with 180, give it a nice fresh cut to it to give the primer something to stick to. And now it is ready to go. I also had flipped it upside down and put rust mort on anywhere that there was a little bit of surface rust, like mainly up in that area. So that's all rust morted, and and within 24 hours or so I should be able to top coat it. But for now I'm gonna go ahead and put some primer on this thing, and then after that probably pull the door off and work on it. I'm not sure yet, but anyways, I'm gonna get to primering. Well, after some major spray gun issues and basically throwing my primer gun away, and I gotta go buy another one because it was super wore out. It's been wore out for probably 6-8 months now, and I kept thinking it was to get better, but it's obviously not gonna fix itself. So just a cheapo gun, so we're gonna throw it away and go buy another cheap gun for primer. I pulled out my good, real nice Iwata to spray the rest of the primer, and it killed me thinking about putting primer through that. Anyways, got primer all on here. And if any of you guys are wondering, well, what's the black stuff? Why'd you put black paint on there? So that I use as guide coat. I'm a huge guide coat fan. I don't actually buy guide coat. Guide coat comes in a little round container and it has a pad, and you go around and you pat it all around. I just use cheapo rattle can paint. So basically what it does is it just shows all of the, when you start blocking this, anywhere that's high, the black's gonna disappear real fast. And if there's a low spot, the black will stay there and it will show really easy. You'll be able to tell real fast whether or not the panel's straight. So that's, I'm a huge fan of guide coat. I use it all the time. Anyways, we got that all primered up, and now I'm gonna go inside and get out of this nasty smelling garage and come back out in a little bit and get back to work on the rest of it. All right, guys, so I got the hood all put in primer and moved out of the way, and then I brought the truck in and pulled the doors off. Got that door and that door pulled off. This one, I was slacking, didn't pull the camera out, but I will for what I'm doing the rest of it. And I got the inside all in here, all sanded down. And it's the inside of that door, the door jamb of that door is ready for some paint. The outside, I just put some guide coat on it. This black stuff here, and now I'm going to wait for that to dry up, and then I'll hand block the outside, and then after it's all hand blocked, it'll be well, I'll hand block it, and then I will wet sand it just real lightly, and then it'll be ready for paint. The whole door will be ready for paint. And then I will grab the other door and get it all ready to go also. That's what my goal is for today, is to get the doors all ready, and then maybe tomorrow morning I'll come out here and get the hood ready to go, and then get the shop all cleaned up and get it all painted. But that's my goal, is to get the doors ready. I don't know if I'll make it that far, but we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna throw you guys on a stand and get back to work. All right, guys. Got the doors all sanded down with I blocked them all out, and then took a little bit of 600 wet sandpaper and smoothed it out real nice. They're both ready for paint. Here they are, all sanded down real nice and good. Anyway, so that's all that we're gonna be doing for today on this. Behind me here, so you can see, is the hood sitting there ready for gonna sand all the bottom side of the hood all down here, and then I'll flip it over and block it and get it ready for paint, and then I'm gonna paint those two. So that'll be tomorrow's project, but for today, we got the hood and primer and ready to be blocked, and got the doors all prepped up and ready to go. So that'll be it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.